boy. I mean, that one's further away than the others. And, you know, as a hitter, Buck, what do you do when you know it's a ball, but it's been called a strike? That one's 4 or 5 inches outside.
Yeah, and you can see John Snyder has taken the lead in getting on the umpire. But Gurriel looked like he took a close pitch that was off the plate.
And Charlie just got
Charlie
tossed.
out now.
And you know what? You can't blame Charlie. It's been going on the whole game. Charlie's eyes don't bulge like that very often at all, but it's been going on the whole game.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays have not been very happy with the strike zone of Jeff Nelson, the crew chief.
Boy, I don't know that we've seen him angrier here in the 4 years he's been here, Buck.
Yeah, he's been upset all day long with the strike zone, and the fight that came to a head here in the 8th inning. It looked like that ball was off the plate to Gurriel. There was an earlier pitch in the at-bat as well that looked borderline.
Mancini off of Blackburn to second and Allen, and the throw not picked by Brown. Mancini will be tagged out. He's called out by Rob Drake. He turned in field, came back to the base, and Rob Drake called him out. He turned in field. Brandon Hines screaming he's going to push Trey back out of the way as Trey thought he got back to the base.
Well, you can turn. The rule is you can turn in field. You just can't make an attempt to go to the next bag and then come back. So that must be what the argument is. It is okay to run through the bag and turn into the field as long as there's not an attempt made to go to the next bag. We'll take a look at it right here. Just a one-hopper right off the back of Blackburn. A nice play by Allen to adjust. The throw a little bit wide. Now, was that an attempt to go to second base? He definitely stepped on the bag, so that's not it. So
A bizarre end to the inning as Mancini is going to be called out. Umpires and officials are by and large excellent at their jobs, and sometimes they make calls because they feel they are being graded by folks above them. And now it looks like Rob Drake may have just thrown Trey Mancini out of the game. And Brandon Hyde is out to argue again. Trey, who's the DH, is barking from the dugout, and Trey just got run.
yeah, and this is the problem I have with umpires. And Rob Drake's eyes and his ears was in the Oriole dugout. You know, it'd be good for him to understand the moment and say, you know what, I might have messed that call up. I'm just going to let them bark a couple times, and I'm going to leave it alone. But instead, he wants to throw Trey Mancini out of the ball game after he made a marginal call that could have went either way. And you don't see Trey Mancini get that upset very often.
And Brandon Hyde got run too. That's an umpire looking to insert himself into the narrative.
It is 100% is what it is.
We've been told this is a fluid bullpen.
Oh, my God. Oh, no.
Buck Showalter's immediately out. We talked about how this was a really tense game yesterday.
And both dugouts are out there on the field.
Dugouts have cleared. Bullpens are coming out now. 3 Mets hit by a pitch yesterday against the Nationals. It sounded like Buck and Dave had cleared the air. They know that they're trying to find a grip on these new baseballs, and it's just really tough. But you've got a star like Lindor. You're trying to see him have a turnaround year with this club that he has signed such a big contract with.
Important to note, though, that was scary to see Lindor go down, but he is up, he is walking around, he's staying on the perimeter of that scrum.
And you've got veterans like Nelson Cruz who are going to keep people at bay right now. Pete Alonso got lucky yesterday as that ricocheted again right off the ear flap. He had a busted up lip. He was negative for concussion protocol. You see Eric Young Jr., Soto, a couple other guys who are taking the time to check on Lindor.
And here's the next pitch, and that is a good-looking breaking ball there. That's a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count.
Looks like Don Manny got thrown out on that one. Well. You can't argue balls and strikes, so he might as well get his money's worth now.
This goes back to the first inning with Max Stassi.
He's saying that baseball was down.
McMarley, home plate umpire.
And you can see Donnie getting heated up. Listen, you go back to the near strikeout, and then it turned into a walk on that pitch instead of strike 3. It was ball 4 and the 3-run homer on the next pitch. And right now, that's the difference in this ball game. And Soler wasn't happy when he was rung up. So we had some issues with the strike zone tonight.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a buildup. You know, I'm upset up here still from that miscalled strike 3, and that's where Donnie's upset, and I'm sure he might have gotten a quick hook right there, which is even more upsetting because some of these guys get a little too sensitive.
What do we got?
Hudson willing to just take his base.
Yep.
But some others taking umbrage over there in the Brewer dugout. Jason Hayward, first man in from center field.
Yep.
And now everybody will rush in and have a little bit of a heated confrontation. This likely will not turn into anything more than mass gathering. There's legitimate arguments on both sides of this issue whenever this happens. The Brewers are going to continue to make the case, hey, we're not throwing at you guys on purpose, and the Cubs are going to say, yeah, you might not be, but we keep getting hit and we're getting frustrated by it. So this is our way of sending a message that says you need to be a little more careful.
And the Orioles celebrate as Urias works a walk-off walk. And now Aaron Boone's been thrown out of the game by Hallion, a game that is over, so that'll cost him some money, but he's going to have his say.
And that's a tough one. That's a tough one right there again. You're Chappie. I think you gotta get beat on your heater. You can't even leave it. You know, I don't know if he's mad about
Oh, strike 3 call. And Arozarena flipping the bat, and he has been flipped. Ejected by Junior Valentine. Well, that was a quick reaction as Arozarena not happy over the call. You saw the bat flip, and just as quickly Valentine went up with the arm to eject him.